On the quiet edge of a small town called Willow Creek lived an 8-year-old boy named Eli Parker. His house was small, old, and always felt a little too silent. Eli used to be a cheerful child, full of laughter and energy, but after his father left one rainy night and never returned, something inside him changed. The house no longer echoed with joy, and Eli no longer spoke much. He spent most of his time alone, sitting by the backyard fence, watching clouds move slowly across the sky, wishing they could carry his sadness away. Every afternoon after school, Eli would drop his bag near the door and walk straight outside. In his hands was always a small notebook filled with drawings of dogs. Big dogs, small dogs, happy dogs with bright eyes. Dogs that stayed. Dogs that never left. Eli wanted a dog more than anything in the world, but he never asked his mother. He knew how hard she worked, how tired she looked every night, and how little money they had. Some dreams felt too heavy to speak out loud. One cold autumn afternoon, while walking home from school, Eli noticed a cardboard box placed near the old oak tree on Maple Street. It wasn't there earlier. As he walked closer, the box suddenly moved. Eli stopped. His heart began to beat faster. Slowly, carefully, he knelt down and looked inside. Curled up in a torn blanket was a tiny Labrador puppy. Its golden fur was dirty, its body shaking, and its eyes were filled with fear. The puppy let out a soft whimper, barely louder than the wind. Eli's heart broke in that moment. Without thinking, he took off his jacket, gently wrapped the puppy inside it, and held it close to his chest. The puppy licked his chin weakly, as if saying thank you. Eli ran home faster than he ever had before. When his mother, Sarah, saw him burst through the door, she gasped in shock. Before she could say anything, the puppy peeked out from the jacket and wagged its tiny tail. Sarah knelt down, seeing the hunger, fear, and innocence in the puppy's eyes. She wanted to say no. She knew how difficult life already was. But when she saw Eli holding the puppy like it was his whole world, her heart chose for her. They named the puppy Sunny, because even on the darkest days, his fur shined like warm sunlight. From that day on, the house felt alive again. Sunny followed Eli everywhere. He tripped over his own paws, chewed old shoes, and barked at his own reflection, but he also brought laughter back into the home. At night, Sunny slept beside Eli, his small body pressed close, as if guarding him from every fear he carried. When Eli cried silently, Sunny licked away his tears. When Eli smiled, Sunny wagged his tail like it was the greatest achievement in the world. Slowly, Eli began to change. At school, he talked more. He smiled more. His teachers noticed. His classmates noticed. When someone asked him why he seemed happier, Eli simply said he had a dog. And that was the truth. Sunny was not just a pet. He was Eli's best friend, his comfort, his reason to wake up smiling. Every evening, they went to the creek behind the house. Sunny chased butterflies, splashed in the water, and waited patiently as Eli talked to him about his fears, his dreams, and the father he missed so deeply. One evening, Eli hugged Sunny tightly and whispered that he was scared everyone would leave him someday. Sunny responded by licking his face and wagging his tail wildly, as if promising that he never would. But one stormy evening, that promise was tested. Dark clouds rolled in suddenly. Thunder shook the sky. Rain poured heavily as Eli and Sunny were still near the creek. A loud crack of thunder frightened Sunny, and he ran toward the water. The ground was slippery, and before Eli could reach him, Sunny slipped and fell into the fast-moving creek. Without hesitation, Eli jumped in after him. The water was freezing and strong, pulling them both downstream. Eli struggled to breathe. His arms burned. Panic filled his chest. Sunny paddled desperately, barking loudly. Using all his strength, Sunny swam toward Eli, grabbed his sleeve with his teeth, and pulled him toward a low-hanging branch. Eli held on with everything he had left. Neighbors heard the barking and rushed to help. They pulled both the boy and the puppy to safety. Eli lay on the ground shaking, holding Sunny tightly, while Sunny licked his face over and over again. From that day forward, their bond became more than friendship. It became a shared survival. Months passed, and life brought another challenge. Sarah received a notice saying they had to leave their home because they couldn't afford the rent anymore. That night, Sarah cried quietly in the kitchen, unaware that Eli was listening from his room. Eli hugged Sunny tightly, fear filling his heart. He didn't care about losing the house. He cared about losing Sunny. Soon, the painful truth became clear. Wherever they were going next might not allow pets. Sunny might have to go. Eli refused to accept it. He cried, begged, and screamed that Sunny was his family. That night, Eli wrote a letter and tied it gently to Sunny's collar. He wrote that Sunny saved him and asked whoever found him to love him. But Sunny never left. The next morning, Sunny escaped the yard and ran to the nearby park, barking loudly near people passing by. A woman noticed him and read the letter on his collar. She was a volunteer at a local animal shelter. That same day, she visited Eli's home and shared their story with the community. Neighbors came together. They donated food, money, and help. Someone offered Sarah a better job. Another offered them a smaller but pet-friendly home. Sunny stayed where he belonged. Years passed. Eli grew taller. Sunny grew slower, his golden fur turning white around his face. They still walked by the creek. Still shared silent moments together. On the day Eli graduated from high school, Sunny sat proudly in the yard, watching him with tired but loving eyes. Eli knelt. Eli knelt down, hugged Sunny tightly, and whispered thank you for saving him. Sunny closed his eyes peacefully, knowing his purpose was fulfilled. Some friendships are born from kindness. Some bonds are written in loyalty. And some puppies don't just become pets. They become family.